Bro, thank you for choosing this video. Welcome back to this channel, a haven for Chelsea news updates. So find a comfortable seat and grab a drink, because this time I'm presenting 12 stories about Chelsea off the pitch that you probably didn't know. I hope to reach 300 likes. By liking this video, I'm even more motivated to provide as much news as possible and as interesting as possible for you. And finally, please comment where you're from. I'd love to know which countries are watching this video.
Crazy, bro. A really heated match is about to break out at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea versus Liverpool, and all eyes are on this duel. Liverpool actually currently sits at the top of the table, but two consecutive losses have made them start to falter. Arsenal are already close behind, just 2 points away. Chelsea themselves are quite stable. 2 wins, 2 draws, 2 losses. Joe Pedro is the driving force, but still, against Liverpool it's a different story. Well, according to the Opta supercomputer, Liverpool's chances of winning are still higher, 42%. Chelsea, only 32%. The remaining 25% are for a draw. So, based on the data, the Reds are still the favorites. But with the recent slump in form, it's not impossible for Chelsea to spring a big surprise. So, what do you think? Will Stamford Bridge be hell for Liverpool or a place of revival?
Bro, you remember Oscar, right? The Brazilian playmaker who was once a favorite at Stamford Bridge? Well, he just spoke about Chelsea's new wonder kid, Estevão William. Oscar admits that Estevão is insanely talented. He has great dribbling, smooth technique, and a goal-scoring instinct. Body Achille even called him magic. But there's a warning. He says adapting to Europe isn't easy, and it takes 2-3 years to truly mature. Give him time, don't put too much pressure on him, Oscar said on the Obi Mikel podcast. So far, Estevão has shown incredible glimpses. In 8 matches across all competitions, he's already contributed 1 goal and is a real threat on the right wing. With Palmer injured, this could be the time for Maresca to unleash this 18-year-old against Liverpool this weekend. The question is, do you believe Estevão can be an instant game changer for Chelsea? Or do you agree with Oscar? Be patient, let him develop slowly.
Chelsea will face Liverpool at Stamford Bridge this weekend, and Enzo Maresca is having a tough time with his defense. Trevor Chalobah is out due to a red card against Brighton, Tosin Adarabioyo is still out with a calf injury, and Wesley Fofana is uncertain about passing concussion protocol. So there's a chance Maresca will gamble on 19-year-old Josh Achiampong. Imagine the young Achiampong partnering Yorel Hato in the heart of defense. But more realistically, Benoit Badiashile, who recently returned, will likely be forced into play, partnered by Captain Reece James, who has replaced Malo Gusto. In midfield, Cole Palmer is still out with a groin injury, so Facundo Buonanotte will continue to be the driving force of the attack alongside Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo. Meanwhile, up front, Joe Pedro returns to the starting lineup despite his red card in the Champions League. Thankfully, that doesn't impact the Premier League. So, Chelsea's likely lineup against Liverpool is Sanchez, James, Achiampong, Badiashile, Cucurella, Fernandez, Caicedo, Garnacho, Buonanotte, Neto, Pedro. Crazy, bro. If they really do field 2 young players in defense against Liverpool, it could be Maresca's biggest gamble of the season. Do you think this is a bold move or a suicide move?
Bro, Chelsea got another red card. This time, it was João Pedro's turn to be sent off against Benfica just minutes after coming on the pitch. 2 yellow cards, bye-bye. But what made me laugh was Enzo Maresca said this was a good thing. He said, at least we can prove that Chelsea can still win even with 10 men. Wow, that's pretty confident, coach. The only problem is, this is already the 3rd red card in the last 4 matches. Robert Sanchez was sent off against Manchester United, Chalobah against Brighton, and now Joel Pedro. All 4 defending the goal, he said. Not a stupid move. But still, bro, playing with 10 men can drain the team. Maresca said he wasn't worried, but if they get another red card against Liverpool this weekend, it could be serious. So, do you think this is a sign of Chelsea's steely mentality, or is it a proof they can't control their emotions on the pitch?
Crazy, bro. The latest news has Enzo Maresca smiling a bit. So, two Chelsea players, João Pedro and Andre Santos, have not been called up to the Brazilian national team for this international break. Santos is clearly out due to injury, but somewhat surprisingly, Pedro is also not in Carlo Ancelotti's squad. What does this mean? Maresca can be a little relieved because the Chelsea squad's like a mini hospital with injuries piling up. At least two key players can rest and recharge at Cobham. But make no mistake, Pedro's burden remains incredibly heavy. He's currently being drafted as an emergency striker because Diop is injured, Mark Guiu is rarely used, and the team is often reduced to 10 men due to red cards. So even though he wasn't called up to Brazil, Pedro is still expected to be key against Liverpool this weekend. The question is, do you think this is a blessing in disguise for Chelsea, or does it just further highlight the thinness of their squad?
Bro, Chelsea apparently still has full faith in Jamie Gittens, despite his frustrating start. He arrived from Dortmund for £48 million, but he hasn't scored a goal or provided an assist yet. He's been a constant substitute. Fans are already shaking their heads every time he misplaces a pass or loses possession easily. But don't worry, Mail Sports says Chelsea won't give up too soon. They're confident this England U21 youngster can still explode, it just takes time. The problem is the competition on the wings is getting crazier. Garnacho has become consistent, Pedro Neto is getting more stable, and Estevão, wow, this wonder kid has already stolen the hearts of Stamford Bridge fans. So, Gittens will have to work hard if he doesn't want to sink even further. Do you think Gittens can bounce back, or will he become another expensive flop?
Bro, finally, Chelsea broke the Champions League deadlock after defeating Benfica 1-0 at Stamford Bridge. It wasn't a goal from a player, but an own goal by Richard Rios that was the deciding factor. But what made fans smile wasn't just the scoreline, it was the clean sheet. Pedro Neto told TNT Sport that the key is this: if you can keep a clean sheet, your chances of winning are greater. He also praised the team's mentality for bouncing back after the defeat against Bayern. He said, "Today, what came out was the team's resilience and hard work." Enzo Maresca also agreed, very pleased with the team's discipline, although he admitted the second half was a bit dim. Still, the first clean sheet in the Champions League this season has boosted optimism. Next up, Liverpool in the Premier League. It's tough, but this momentum must be maintained. So, do you think Chelsea are truly bouncing back, or is it just a lucky night?
Crazy, bro. Darren Bent made a crazy statement. He said Cole Palmer is as important to Chelsea as Virgil van Dijk is to Liverpool. Just imagine, Van Dijk arrived and immediately transformed Liverpool into the best team in the world. Well, Palmer is the same, coming from City for 47 million euros, and he's now the lifeblood of the Blues game. His stats are terrifying. 45 goals plus 29 assists in 101 games. Plus, he helped Chelsea win the UEFA Conference League and the Club World Cup. But he's been unlucky this season, with a groin injury keeping him out of 7 games. Fans are clearly feeling the void in Palmer. Without him, Chelsea looks incredibly crippled. Bent believes that only if Palmer returns to full fitness and several defenders recover will Chelsea truly be appreciated. So, do you think Palmer could be Chelsea's Van Dijk?
Hey, this is really interesting, bro. Mark Cucurella has spoken out about Alexandro Garnacho, who Chelsea recently signed from Manchester United for £40 million. He said Garnacho is a very important player for the Blues. The problem is Garnacho hasn't played much this season due to frequent red cards. How can you bring in a winger if you're always playing with 10 men? But against Benfica at Stamford Bridge, he proved it. His cutback resulted in an own goal that proved decisive for Chelsea.
Cucurella believes Garnacho will become even more important if given more minutes, especially ahead of the big match against Liverpool. As for Jamie Gittens, oh dear, he's still struggling since his move from Dortmund. Fans' patience is wearing thin. So what do you think? Will Garnacho be key to Chelsea this season, or is he still too young to be relied upon?
Bro, that's crazy. Fabrizio Romano has spoken out. Chelsea are apparently very interested in Kenan Yildiz. This young Turkish Juventus player is only 20 years old, but he's already on the radar of elite Premier League clubs, including Arsenal. Well, reportedly, his price could reach over 80 million euros. Expensive? Definitely. But Chelsea is indeed crazy about hunting for top young talent in the world. Juve themselves are desperately trying to extend Yildiz's contract to prevent it from being snatched up by an English team. Romano said that if Yildiz wanted to move to the Premier League, he could have actually left early last summer. But the fact that he's staying means Juve still has a great chance. The question is, will Chelsea be willing to buy Yildiz and compete with Arsenal, or will Juve be successful in holding on to him longer?
It's crazy, man. Even though Chelsea fans were furious over 2 consecutive defeats, the Blues management was relaxed. They had complete faith in Enzo Maresca, even saying he had made an incredible transformation in one player, Reece James. Remember, at the beginning of the year, James was even far from the England squad, constantly injured and considered finished, and now he's back as one of England's best right backs. According to an inside source, Maresca hasn't just returned James to his top level, but has made him more versatile. He can push up the middle, hold down the wings, and control the tempo. The Chelsea board is absolutely impressed, and frankly, fans are also starting to see flashes of the captaincy they once lacked. The question is, if James stays fit, can he be the key to Chelsea's revival this season?